A guy has to hustle and work hard to keep up with the pace of New York's grab-and-go eating.
Good morning.
It takes a different kind of hard work and hustle to make it in the world of the city's best restaurants.
Where are the bowls?
I'm going backstage at one of the very best, where the house specialty is octopus with bone marrow.
Perfect.
And where I'll get a chance to find out if I've still got the chops to work alongside the best in the business.
Let him fly solo, all right? No safety net.
Here I am, cooking the signature dish in a restaurant universally accepted as one of the best in New York.
Plating in about 12 seconds.
A city that accepts no excuses and takes no prisoners when it comes to failure. People spend years climbing the culinary ladder to build a career in a kitchen like this. From prep work to the garde-manger station making cold dishes to becoming one of the privileged cooks preparing entrees on the hot side. So it's the height of chutzpah for a guy who's been out of the business for about a dozen years.
Good morning.
To put on his old faded chef jacket, walk into a kitchen like this, and try scaling the ladder in one day.
We have any reservations today?
We have 146 on the books for lunch.
I'm getting that chance through the good graces of Michael White, an old friend who's one of the most celebrated younger chefs in town. His flagship restaurant is Marea, a seafood eatery predicated on Michael's genius for Italian cuisine. Step behind the kitchen door and let me show you just how obsessive people can be about creating a perfect meal. In the beginning is the pasta, panzani, fusilli, garganielli, ferratini, 14 different varieties, all hand-rolled each day.
It's constant. We have 3 people making pastas
All
here.
the time?
All the time.
Elizabeth Mercado has been doing this job for almost 20 years.
It's magical. She's serious.
The tool they use here for making garganielli is where it goes from amazing to insane.
And then this is a reed comb, and this comes from Lugo, which is outside of Imola. And these are reeds that grow on the Santerno River, and there are people that, weave these. They weave these with this waxed rope.
So this is pasta, hand-rolled, on a gadget made from the reeds of just one river in just one part of Italy.
There you go. You can push a little bit harder.
A little harder?
A little harder.
Yeah, okay. I didn't want to be the guy that broke the reed from the river. And, you know what I'm saying?
Now you need 40 portions, okay, baby?
Yeah.
And there's about 50 quills per portion. So that's 2,000 quills. Okay, I'll see you in a week.
Sloppy, get it, exactly.
The fusilli is a key player in the house specialty. They toss this pasta with octopus and bone marrow. And since Marea opened, this is the dish people have raved about and kept coming back for more.
This is actually the octopus that's boiling inside here with tomato sauce.
It was a stroke of genius, realizing that bone marrow and octopus can complement each other in flavor and texture. But it only works if every single step for every serving is done perfectly. I'll give you the shorthand version of how it's done. Sear the already braised octopus in a pan with chili flakes and garlic. Start the pasta cooking, add red wine.
At this point,
Mix in tomato sauce and broth from the boiled octopus. Put the pasta in the pan to finish cooking in the sauce. Add the bone marrow. Heat the bone marrow until it's soft but not melted. Toss in a handful of julienne basil. Season,
off heat,
and then pull it off the stove at precisely the moment when all the ingredients are at the perfect stage for eating. Oh, and it's all got to be done in less than 2 minutes.
Actually, we're going to give you a little bit of the bone marrow to see if it's thoroughly melted.
Perfect.
The finishing touch is spiced breadcrumbs, a classic Southern Italian condiment. This is what I'll have to make, with diners waiting, chefs watching, and flop sweat running down my face.
Oh, man.
Texture.
Unbelievable.
Salty.
Unbelievable.
Acidity.
The chew of the pasta stands up to the octopus. If you had a softer pasta in there,
It'd be like eating separates.
it just wouldn't work. The thing is that every time I taste this, I still have the same thought runs through my head, how beautifully the bone marrow goes with the octopus, something that is very difficult to think about.
The octopus fusilli is the jewel in the crown, but everything in this place is a carefully wrought gem. People here are fiercely proud of what they do. Customers are fiercely demanding. The tiniest flub
Where are the bowls?
can mean profound embarrassment in front of a whole kitchen staff.
Yes!
When the lunch hour begins,
Razor clam mackerel, ruby.
Now it's
Oh,
getting
now we're
serious.
getting
Now you're
serious.
getting serious. This is live, people.
Perfect. So then the tuna goes, oh boy.
Push that lobster, please.
Yep. Whoop. That means they want it now.
that will be my moment of truth.
I can't take this.
It's the beginning of the lunch rush at one of New York City's most elite restaurants. Here at Marea, there are 42 highly skilled professionals at work, and one very out-of-practice semi-professional trying desperately to pass.
Not that there's any pressure, but the first two customers at lunchtime, David Geffen, Leslie Stahl.
A movie mogul, a TV news legend, there's a celebrity at almost every table. For the record, among all the movers and shakers out here in the dining room today, there's only one I really want to say hello to.
Good to see you.
That got you working?
Making television.
Ruth Reichel is the ultimate discerning diner, one of the most influential editors and food writers in America, a legend.
So when I saw your ticket come in, we were just all giddy with excitement. It was wonderful. Anyway, you look great. I'll let you get back to lunch and everything. It was really nice to see you, too. Really nice
Now,
to meet you.
back to business. If you've never been in the kitchen of a high-end restaurant, here's a few basics. The orders come via computer printout, punched in by the waiters out front. Cooks on the cold line jump to do salads and appetizers. On the hot line, they're making the entrees.
26.5, Ricky.
Jared Gadbaugh is the chef de cuisine. He's the field general, making sure everyone is on pace, timing every entree to make sure it doesn't come out while customers are still eating their salads.
Fire lobster on 31. Fire octo with a base scallop.
To fire something means start cooking. The customer is just minutes away from the next course. Jared personally inspects every plate before it leaves the kitchen.
5 apps for lunch.
My first kitchen assignment is working the cold line. Expectations are high.
I compete for market share every single day in New York City, and it's all about tasting.
The stakes are very high.
Very
The
high.
stakes are
That's why places like this are constantly inventing new taste combinations. And that's how Michael became Manhattan's biggest importer of sea urchins. He uses them to create sea urchin and lardo crostini. The gonads of sea urchin served on toast with thin shavings of fat cured with salt and rosemary.
And you can actually see here, as one of the world's leading authorities on gonad freshness, I can tell you with the sea urchin, those little bits of white that are in there is actually what you want to see.
We can say that's the sperm on the outside of the...
Correct.
And those are actually the most flavorful ones.
Correct. And
So we top those sperm-spotted gonads with the lardo. Toast it for no more than 15 seconds, and you have Marea's signature small plate.
oh, and see the smell of that cured fat
smell
when
it?
it melts,
Or?
just fantastic.
Swine.
Fantastic.
Swine. It's really crispy on the top and a little less on the bottom. So you have two different levels of crispiness.
Gorgeous sea urchin. That's gorgeous. There's not
Santa
an
Barbara.
iodine note on the end of that.
Fire 2 large.
I'm about to get my chance at making another stage setter. My first order in, lobster burrata.
Yes! Fantastic. Where are the bowls? Perfect.
First comes the cheese, a creamy, intense cousin of mozzarella that Marea imports directly from Italy.
A little bit less? Yeah, you just coach me through.
Then, Maine lobster goes into a bowl to be stirred up with lemon vinaigrette and just a pinch of salt.
Can you push that lobster out, please? Let's go.
Yep. That means they want it now.
Exactly 7 pieces go on each. 2 from the claw, 1 from the knuckle, and from the tail,
1, 2, 3, 4 of the tail.
notice how my partner is coming along behind me, rearranging each lobster piece. The presentation has to be as perfect and as exacting as the flavor is.
How's he doing? Is he doing okay?
Yes.
Looking good. That passes the white test. You got it.
Did you do?
Little finishing oil. There you go. Done.
Yeah, done. But it's taking probably twice as long as Jared would like.
3 lobster up. Those were better. Pick up, please.
Michael is taking a chance here, not just with customers, but with his staff, who won't think it's very funny if the boss's buddy makes them look bad. Bottom line, I really don't want to screw this up, especially when I'm about to graduate to the frenetic hot side of the kitchen.
Oh, sweet. Oh, my gosh.
On the hotline, there's no going back to fix a mistake and no time for starting over because a customer can never be kept waiting. It has to be perfect, first time, every time. When the first order of octopus fusilli comes in, one of the line cooks walks me through it again.
And then the very last thing is seasoning and putting the bone marrow in.
Yes, bone marrow and some basil.
This dish is Marea's signature. Newcomers ask for it, expecting to be amazed. Most regulars have eaten it before and expect it to be just as good as the last time. And that's why Jared can't afford to let the tiniest mistake make it out to the dining room. And my solo flight is coming up right now.
All right, Andrew, you ready?
Yep.
Fusilli order fire.
All right. Fusilli order fire.
Don't interfere. Let him fly solo, all right?
No safety net.
Let's take his training wheels off now.
The pressure's on immediately. The temperature of this pan has to be perfectly controlled in these first 30 seconds. As the octopus sautés and the sauce gets added, a little too hot and everything tastes scorched. But if it's not hot enough, the ingredients and flavors won't blend together in the right way. But if you get too focused on that, you can miss something else. I almost forgot the red wine.
Money on the line, and I already blew it, but I caught it. Better to catch it early.
From here, it's all about timing. When to get the pasta going.
Give me 30 seconds, and then you can give it to me.
Knowing when it's just the right time to add the key ingredient, the bone marrow. Now, I'm committed. The noodles have to cook, but not overcook. And the bone marrow has to soften, but not melt. If I misjudge the time, I've blown the whole dish.
Hold on, hold on. I seriously want to know if this is servable in your restaurant.
Oh, seeing the color look pretty
Get a spoon. I'm standing by my dish. I think it's good.
All right, let's take this out.
That's part of what I came for on this trip. To prove to myself that I can still cut it in a world I dearly love.